Oh God, my eyes! Before we get into splitting belts, we need to talk about research and exploration. There's a few things that happen when you start splitting your belts and your productions, and there's going to be some stuff that you need to find that's going to offset the challenges that you're going to face. So, before you go out exploring the world, the beautiful, beautiful world of Satisfactory, you should make sure that you have a few things on hand before you leave. So in your equipment workshop, build about, 5 to 10 beacons. Get yourself an object scanner, and everything else, obviously you'll need a chainsaw, and about 200 to 300 concrete for foundations. Now you need concrete to build foundations because you don't have any movement augment stuff. You can't jump up very high or get a lot of places around the world. If you fall down or you need to get up somewhere high, you can't do that right now unless you build foundations and, build your way up. Once you have those items, from running around and gathering wood and leaves and biomass, you've probably come across a few berries. You can actually take some of those berries that come in here, the pale berry, for example, and scan your pale berry.
Paleodictyoptera berries, or pale berries, can be added to the object scanner catalog after unlocking the new blueprint in Hub Tier 1.
So, what that means is after you scan it, you can come over here, go to your Tier 1, go to your object scanner, and select your berry. There we go. Boop. There we go. Okay, so you want to be able to scan for any of the items that you might be looking for when you're out in the world. So you've probably come across a power slug while you've been gathering leaves and wood, but in case you haven't seen one, put your object scanner in your hand and whip that thing out. It's going to give you some static, usually to start, and if you just keep turning, once you hear the clear beep, beep, beeping, that's going to face you in the direction of your first power slug. So you're going to kind of head towards that direction. You've probably seen them sunbathing, but, just in case. The closer you are, the faster it beeps. There it is. I found a power slug. So they're passive. You can just walk up to them and pick them up. By far the most valuable commodity. By far. You use these to create power shards, which allow you to overclock all of your machines. They're very, very, very important, and that's mostly what you're going to be looking for while you're out exploring. So once you find your first power slug, bring it back to the research station here and throw it in and scan it. I've already done so. There we go.
The crystals on this slug can be harvested and converted into a power shard that functions with current fix-it technology. Several buildings would be capable of performing over 100% capacity.
So that allows us to make all of our buildings work up to 250% faster. Each building can take up to 3 power shards. Green slugs give you 1 power shard. There are yellow and purple power slugs, but you probably won't be able to get to those because they'll be likely stuck in some gas clouds or behind something that'll kill you. So I've got some nuts. I'm going to scan for some nuts too. While I'm waiting for my nuts to scan, we can go ahead and grab some more beacons. How do I need... Oh, I would if I had any cable. So, you don't need too many of these. 15 to 20 should be enough. I'm just going to take 15. So beacons, if you throw these in your hand slot, beacons allow you to mark stuff on your map so it shows up on your compass up at the top of your screen. So let's say I wanted to mark my base. Boom. There it is. Now you can see it on the top of my screen there. It says beacon. If you hit E on it, you can name it. My base. Push enter and escape. That's it. Now it says my base at the top. So you can use these beacons to mark points of interest, cave entrances, certain nodes, pure nodes specifically, and real cool stuff like, a giant archway. That would be cool. Before we head out on an adventure here, you don't want to go too far from your base, because the farther away you get, the more dangerous it's going to be, and the harder it's going to be for you to retrieve your dead carcass when something kills you. Make sure you have a large set of nuts before you go out. They're very important. Big set of berries, because you need to eat and heal you up. There we go, just like that. They're your main source of health, and trust me, you're going to need it. Now, if you pull out your object scanner and hold down left click, it's going to give you different things to scan. Power slugs will be able to scan by default. I've researched pale berries, and I can also scan for those. I'm also going to whip out this and make sure I have it set to power slug. So I found a power slug, and it's a yellow power slug, which is really, really good. Unfortunately, these things here produce gas, and I don't have the equipment to deal with gas just yet. I'm going to need a respirator for that. That comes later. You know what? He's kind of on the edge. We might be able to sneak in and grab him. Let's give it a shot. He's close to base, so if we die, it's not that big of a deal. This is why we need the foundations, which I forgot on my concrete, because I'm a professional. If you are going to go through the gas, or you're going to try to grab this power slug, which is in the gas, make sure you heal first, because the gas does sting a little bit. Oh god, my eyes! Yeah, right on the edge of the gas. Nailed it. Okay, that is going to be extremely helpful. That's going to give us like 3 power shards. Please remove all floating foundations to keep the world clean, because we are already making a huge mess with our pollution. Quick note, that is the edge of the world. There is nothing down there but death, and you will lose your entire inventory. So don't worry about going down there, because you'll just die. Cave, need a cave, need a cave, need a cave, need a cave. Speaking of cave entrances, spelunking, while is a fantastic way to find slugs, is generally unadvised, because caves are usually home to some of the most terrifying monsters in the entire game. Except this one, which I guess doesn't have any. Ooh, bacon mushroom. A section like this that you absolutely need to go through, or, you know, want to. If you have enough berries, you can usually just kind of run through it and just kind of tank it. You know, you start to lose quite a bit of health here, and you just kind of eat berries, and you'll be okay. Oh, pretty. Oh my god! Ah! So yeah, these things are generally give off poisonous gas, as you can see. If you just kind of give them some space, they will chill. If you get close, they'll slowly get up and unfurl, and then squirt you with their poisonous juices. And then there's these guys, the Sommer Sloop. Don't need to know what they're for yet. Just make sure you grab them and keep them for later. The most dangerous animals in all of Satisfactory. Death kittens! Oh god! I almost died to you adorable princess. So if you played enough Zelda, you know yes, in fact, these can be blown up and you can go inside. Unfortunately, we can't do that just yet. We will unlock explosives later. If you see roots and stuff around the world, you can usually climb them, like these guys here. These, the Mercer Spheres. If you find these, pick these up. But before you do, have a listen, because they will talk to you. They're very big conversationalists.
I strongly advise you to harvest this specimen.
And the longer you sit, the more angry they get that you're not harvesting. It's great, great fun.
Harvest this artifact. You are so lucky that you found this most valuable artifact. Picking up multiple Fix-It personnel in the area. Proceed with harvest before it's too late. Breaking news from Earth. Widespread chaos and mayhem. World President urges all citizens to do their part and harvest alien artifacts. Relaying message. Hello, this is Paternal Figure. I have taken ill and need your help to find a cure. Doctors say that the only remedy is alien artifacts.
Paternal Figure! Mommy? So yeah, that's kind of the basics of research and exploration. We will get more in depth as we progress through the game. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again on the next episode of What the Factory.